A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends. Thank you really very much for joining in to episode 2 of Tourism Talk. And today we are going to discuss tourism management. As the discussion is on tour manager and tour management, my background is also of a coach today because it is like we are doing a tour and we are discussing tour management. Today, I'm very super excited as well as happy because the topic is something which even I am doing since last couple of years, and I started my career as a tour manager with Thomas Cook. And also, I'm happy because the guest I have is one of my very good friend and a veteran tour manager in our travel industry, a man who has been to all the continents of the world, the man who has explored more than 60, 70 countries in the world, a man who has done almost each and every type of tours, be it leisure, be it mice, be it the normal MOS, and he has been through that all. He is none other than Mr. Christopher Lobo, based out in Mumbai, into travel industry since more than 23 years now. Sir, thank you very much for being.
Hi everybody. Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So,
Hi everybody. Yeah.
So, friends, today I'll just take you through what we are going to do in our discussion. I have a presentation which will discuss the roles and responsibilities and various things about tour manager that we will be taking for 15-20 minutes, followed by our expert and our senior tour director, Mr. Christopher Lobo, putting in his own insight and views on the entire discussion and the topic, then followed by the Q&A, where whatever you want to ask or you want to understand in more detail, we'll be more than happy to answer that. So can we start? Chris sir, would you like to
Yeah. Yeah. Please. Please.
PPT? Okay. I will
Nothing. I think you spoke too highly of me.
no, sir, that's what your introduction is. I would request everyone to please don't unmute, and throughout the session, if you have got any questions, please put it on the chat. I and Chris sir, we will make sure that we will answer maximum of it and almost every question before we end the session. So,
At a cost.
so, uh, so now that is one of the trait of a tour manager. Always be funny and keep the crowd happy. Anyways, so now let us start with tour management. I am 110% sure that whosoever who have joined us today on this talk, all the travel professionals, either you have been onto any tour of your life, be it a leisure group, be it a mice group, or any corporate movement, or you have known or heard that what a tour manager is actually doing on ground, whether you are into sales, into operations, into visa, into airline, whatsoever mehnat we all do at the back end is actually for the tour to operate. And the person who operates the tour, he is none other than the tour manager on ground. So when you know any friend of yours, when you go through his life or his stories or his social media, we all think, wow, what a glamorous life he or she is living in. Every other week, every other country, lounges, international travel, this, that. But everything, this comes with a cost. Not only the cost of money, but the cost of so many qualities which a tour manager should have, so many sacrifices which a tour manager does, uh, living or staying away from their family. So everything is different, and we are going to touch all the aspects of this tour management. So to start with, let me start sharing the screen. There we go. Tour manager. We are going to discuss tour manager today. Yes, the tour manager is happy because we are discussing a tour manager. So this is what a tour manager is. Always smiling, always happy go lucky, and very nicely dressed, very presentable, keep calm and listen to a tour manager. And also I have added one more picture there, one lady holding a flag, because nowadays ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मेल्स आर टूर मैनेजर्स. वी हैव सो मेनी गुड फीमेल्स who are good tour managers. So it's now for all. We need to understand a couple of things. Change is the only thing constant. Learning is continuous and never ending process. Even though you all might have not been on any tour till now, but you never know when your company might require you to send on one of the tours to accompany your elite guest. So that is important. And the basic rule of a tour manager is do infinite mistakes, accept them, take lessons, and never repeat them. We travel so much. We travel so many countries, so many destinations. Not everything is known to everyone. And there are so many things which we need to understand. So it is like that. Now, discussing tour manager in detail, we will discuss definition, qualities and strength, and the R&R. So first the definition. A tour manager is who? Whenever you travel, if suppose you are traveling as a client, if you are going to a Europe holiday, the person who receives you at the airport will be your tour manager and he is going to be your friend. He is going to be your philosopher and he is going to be a guide throughout your trip. He is the brand ambassador of the organization. You book tour from any travel company. The person who represent that company is going to take care of their brand name, and he is the game changer between the organization and the client. Why I am using the word game changer? Because we all, many people comes from operation background, visa reject होना, ticketing में issues होना, ये सब चीजें हैं जो हम लोग चाह कर नहीं करते but हो जाती है. But all this hard work we do only to make sure we go on to the tour and have a good time. So when the tour manager receives those client, sales के अंदर ओवर कमिटमेंट करके सेल्स करते हैं, ये सब चीजें नॉर्मल है जो टूर मैनेजर सहन करते हैं व्हेन दे आर ऑन ग्राउंड. सो ही इज द गेम चेंजर बिकॉज ही इज गोइंग टू डिलीवर दैट गुड थिंग्स ऑन टूर दैट ये सारी चीजें भूल जाएगा क्लाइंट एंड ही विल बी रिटेन्ड बाय द ट्रैवल ऑपरेटर. He is the whole and soul of the tour. Yes, he is the whole and soul of the tour. Now, this is one of the most important slide of the entire presentation today. What are the qualities or the strength we should look for a tour manager or a tour manager should possess? So first is passion. Without passion, no one can be a tour manager. You just can't be just कुछ नहीं है करने को तो चलो tour manager बनते हैं. No, it is very difficult that way. You need to have passion to make people travel, to travel yourself and explore the world and show it to the world. So it is very passionate and passion driven thing. Then we have confidence. Guys, I can't have a tour manager in front of me if I am the guest who actually doesn't know thing. We be it confident enough or not, that is secondary. And just doing things based on a Google Maps. No, that will not happen. You should have to be very confident. Then we have punctuality. Now, punctuality is one trait that every tour manager must have because whatever reporting times we give to our client, like for example, if we are in Paris and going to the tour of Eiffel Tower and we have the slots booked there. So if suppose 2:30 is the meeting time post lunch, the tour manager should be there by 2:15 at the hotel lobby waiting for the guest. The three C's which a tour manager should always keep in mind is being courteous, being caring, and being concerned. We never know who is going to be our client. If suppose some senior citizen are coming on their dream European holiday, and if you are their tour manager, it is your responsibility to be so much courteous and caring that they should feel that they have been taken care of. उनका सामान उठाना पड़े, कभी कभी उनको हाथ देना पड़े कोच में से नीचे उतरते टाइम, etc etc. Then we have integrity. Every tour manager, whosoever travels, be it a domestic tour or international tour, be it Far East or Europe or US, always there is money involved because we carry a lot of cash, lot of vouchers. There are so many things which a tour manager carry on behalf of the travel company. So पूरा उसका अच्छे से हिसाब देना, integrity what we call, that is important. A good memory and storytelling is also important. See, when we are driving, suppose for example, we are driving from Paris to Brussels and Brussels to Amsterdam. It's a long drive for around 8 hours with one stopover for lunch. So we just can't say, ki, sir, just enjoy the beauty of Europe. Bahar left में देखो, right में देखो. We should have some storytelling. We should have a good memory of the place. ये क्या हुआ, ये क्यों हुआ, ऐसा है, वैसा है, यहाँ कौन सी movie shoot हुई थी, etc etc. गुड कम्युनिकेशन. नो वन वुड लाइक टू हैव अ टूर मैनेजर जो सिर्फ फर्स्ट सीट पे जाके बैठ गया बट कुछ बात नहीं कर रहा हो. कम्युनिकेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड अटेंड इज ऑल्सो अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रेट फॉर अ टूर मैनेजर. हमारे क्लाइंट्स जब हम उन्हें फ्री टाइम देते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ वी आर इन से स्विट्जरलैंड राइन फॉल,
Anis, Anis, Anilian.
if suppose we are in Rhine Falls and we have given them 2 hours of free time to have a Rhine boat ride and this and that, we should be alert and attentive that where are our clients, have we guided them properly, वापस कहाँ आना है, कहाँ जाना है. If we know that there are two people who are always late, so we should keep them in mind कि ये कहाँ है, वो कहाँ है, etc etc. Empathy is a very important thing because empathy का मतलब होता है how would you behave, like if suppose you are in their situation or you are in their place, how would you behave. That is the empathetic relation what we have. So when you have a leisure tour or be it a mice group, we have multiple people traveling on that group from different parts of the country. We have Punjabis, we have Gujaratis, we have South Indians, we have Bengalis. सबका लाइफस्टाइल अलग होता है. सो इवन दो द टूर आइटनरी इज सेम फॉर ऑल, बट सबका आना जाना टाइम एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, इट हैज टू बी, हमें सोचना है उनके पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. कोई हनीमूनर है, सो व्हाइल गिविंग अप अ वेकअप कॉल, गिव देम थर्ड और फोर्थ, पहले उन्हें 5 बजे मत उठा दो, समथिंग लाइक दैट. अ नॉर्मल एम्पैथेटिक रिलेशनशिप. ह्यूमर ऑफ कोर्स, हंसी मजाक, जैसे लाइक क्रिस सर स्टार्टेड ओनली विद ह्यूमर टुडे, so like that humor is very important throughout the tour. And the attitude of us like a tour manager should be always ADB, that is Atiti Devo Bhava, that what we believe in India. It should be hardworking. Hardworking is of course there. Presentable 24/7. हमें normally we end our day when all the guests go to their room and again start our day by waking them up. So it is going to be a long day when we are on tour. I'm getting a question from just a minute. Join audio. So now we have flexibility. Yeah, tour managers का भी होता है कि नहीं मैं ऐसे करूंगा, मैं वैसे करूंगा, मैं ऐसे ही करूंगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. We need to adapt to it and we should be flexible enough to take care of it. And patience, मैंने सबसे पहला passion लिखा है और लास्ट में patience लिखा है, because patience is the key for every good tour manager to deliver a good tour. Because if we are not patient, we will surely lose our patience and we will be very angry, and ये सब चीजें टूर पे हम लोग नहीं कर सकते because we are serving there. Now there are certain no-nos जो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होना चाहिए एक टूर मैनेजमेंट के टाइम पे, एक टूर मैनेजर में. That is dishonesty, instability, alcoholism, drugs, smoking, laziness, abnormal attention to the opposite gender, etc etc. इसके ऊपर ज्यादा elaborate करने का जरूरत नहीं है. These are self-explanatory points. Now we are coming to the R&R of tour manager. No, this is not rewards and recognition. This is the roles and responsibilities of tour manager. So here we go. The key responsibility to oversee the arrangements are delivered as promised. Whatever is being promised by the sales or by the company जिन्हें हम represent कर रहे हैं वो properly deliver हो रहा है या नहीं हो रहा है. Interaction between the guest and the TM. Coordinating all the travel logistics such as hotel check-in, baggage handling, etc etc. Guiding the travelers through the tour's itinerary, making them understand कि अगर हम लोग फॉर एग्जांपल रोम कोलोसियम में जा रहे हैं तो यही टाइम स्लॉट में हमारे पास बुकिंग है तो हमें यहीं पे जाना है, वी कांट गो देयर आफ्टर दिस ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. Then we have keeping everyone well informed and on schedule. In Europe, when we do tours in summer season, there are restaurants जो एक 2-2.5 घंटे के गैप के अंदर they feed at least 12 to 15 coaches. So that's how we should be keeping everyone well informed and on schedule. Offer fun and fascinating commentary while traveling and sightseeing. Handle any and all problems, personal conflicts and emergencies. Personal conflicts हस्बैंड वाइफ के झगड़े की बात नहीं है. पर्सनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स मतलब टूर पे, लीजर टूर पे एक कोई पंजाब से आए हैं, एक कोई वेस्ट बंगाल से आए, कहीं अलग अलग जगह से आए हैं, उनका कुछ मतभेद हो जाता है कि नहीं हमें ये बताया गया था, हमें वो बताया गया था, समथिंग लाइक दैट. वी शुड ऑलवेज हैव दैट कैपेबिलिटीज कि हमें वो रोकना है ऑन टूर. इमरजेंसीज, किसी का कुछ मेडिकल इमरजेंसी हो गया एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, वो भी हमें ध्यान रखना है. मूविंग ऑन. नाउ the actual responsibilities are classified into 3 points, that is pre-tour, tour पे जाने से पहले, on tour और tour पे आने के बाद, for a tour manager. So what are pre-tour? Now this is from the MICE as well as leisure point of view. Pre-tour is be prepared. How? First of all, get the details. If suppose someone has hired me as a tour manager to take their 15 days ka tour to Europe, so I will go to that company and get the details of the itinerary, the vendor, the flight details, transit का कुछ detail है क्या, visa and insurance का status क्या है सबका, etc etc. देन आई विल कनेक्ट विद द फाइल हैंडलर. जैसे माइस में होता है, एक ऑपरेशंस वाले अपने अपनी फाइल करते हैं, मैं उनसे समझूंगा कि फाइल में चैलेंजेस क्या है, क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है. फिर मैं लोकल वेंडर्स को फोन करूंगा. हेलो, normally when we go there multiple times we know them personally, so I will again connect with them. Hi, I'm coming with this group on this date, so good to connect with you, etc etc, just to make that a public relation. Then I will research my destination. If suppose I'm taking a 40 people group to Dubai, so I will research all the climatic conditions, destination fact, currency, calling code, emergency contact, hotel amenities, inclusion, exclusion of the itinerary, flow of the itinerary, timing of attraction, driving distance, everything should be on my fingertip. Even though I've been to Dubai n number of times, but if I'm going to Dubai again very soon, I will do this research. अगर कुछ change हुआ है या फिर कुछ अपडेट हुआ है उसके लिए. Then comes the final thing. Now I am ready with all the idea of what is going to happen on the tour. Now I will finally connect with client. Client is the end person who is actually going to travel. Now in MICE, if suppose we have a dealers group of any company, so there is a client coordinator and we have actual clients. So कभी कभी हमें अलाउ नहीं होता है कि हम वो लास्ट क्लाइंट से बात करें, तो मैं कोऑर्डिनेटर से बात करूंगा. मैं समझूंगा उनसे कि सर मैं हूं आपके साथ, आई एम योर टूर मैनेजर, आई एम गोइंग टू रिसीव यू एट दिस एयरपोर्ट, आई विल मीट यू एट दिस टाइम, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, और ये सारी बातें होगी. और अगर लीजर ग्रुप है, इफ सपोज वी आर गोइंग टू दुबई और यूरोप विद 50 पीपल का ग्रुप, तो आई विल कनेक्ट विद दोस 10-15 फैमिलीज कि हेलो सर, पैकिंग हो गया आपका, आई एम योर टूर मैनेजर, मैं आपके साथ चलने वाला हूँ, मैं आपको घुमाऊंगा यूरोप, दिस इज हाउ इट इज, कुछ भी रहा तो प्लीज व्हाट्सएप मी, आई एम देयर. एंड आई हैव रिटन इट क्लाइंट टू मेक हिम एंड ऑल्सो टू अंडरस्टैंड हिम, बिकॉज अभी से अगर थोड़ा एक रैपो बन गया तो both the parties. Moving ahead, we have got pre-tour. Now these are the things which we should pack from the tour manager's perspective. These are the must packing thing. आपके अलावा अपने अपने एक्सपीरियंस के हिसाब से सब लोग पैकिंग कर सकते हैं, बट दिस इज फ्लैश लाइट और अ टॉर्च ऑलवेज, मेडिकल बॉक्स ऑलवेज, पावर बैंक, यूनिवर्सल ट्रैवल एडेप्टर ऑलवेज, मल्टी यूजेज नाइफ और अ कटर, मूवी DVDs and USB songs, because when we have Europe ka tour, there are so many long distance driving. In US also we have long distance driving. Then folder for important tour related paper. इतना तो बेसिक हर टूर मैनेजर के बैग में हम लोग होने का एक्सपेक्टेशन रखते ही है. इसके अलावा जिसका जो चॉइस हो, दैट वी कैन पैक. Then we should have a checklist wherein we will check the passport and the insurance of the client as well as our own. Rail ticket and air ticket. Rail मतलब internal, suppose Paris से Amsterdam we are going by URail, तो उसका ticket. Then placard, flag of the company which I am taking. Passenger list, rooming list. हस्बैंड वाइफ और 2 बच्चे हैं, उन्होंने रिक्वेस्ट डाला है कि हमारे बच्चों का रूम हमारे बाजू में ही होना चाहिए, तो वो रूमिंग लिस्ट में हाईलाइटेड है कि नहीं. बैगेज लिस्ट, मैप्स, गिव अवेज, मतलब माइस का ग्रुप है तो डॉकेट्स के साथ में क्या क्या देना है, यू वांट टू डिलीवर सम स्नैक्स देना है, बैग्स बांटना है, वो सब. मील प्रेफरेंस चार्ट, वेज नॉन वेज, जैन कितने हैं, वाउचर्स कुछ अगर कंपनी ऑफिस ने अपने को दिया है तो वो, एंड डिटेल्स ऑफ ऑन टूर एक्सपेंस बजट. Coming to budget, now budget is very important. I will just elaborate this point of mine, because every tour company they give a particular budget. उस बजट में एक टूर मैनेजर को उसका मोबाइल करना है, उसका बाकी सब खर्चा करना है. ये अलाउंसेस या फीस नहीं है टूर मैनेजर का, ये ऑन टूर बजट है. तो ये हमें समझना है कि हमें क्या खर्चा करना है, टिप्स कितना देना है, कैसा देना है, एज पर द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वगैरह वगैरह. Now when we have already done the pre-tour thing, we are all set to be on tour, and when we are on tour, it is the show time. So what we do on tour, again the same thing repeating: attitude, Atithi Deva Bhava, client first. 3 C's, always on mind, courteous, caring, and concern. 3 P's, as soon as we land in the foreign land, passport, patience, and punctuality का importance client को भी बताना जरूरी है. Passports has to be kept in the locker or in the baggage जिसमें lock हो at the hotel room unless it is needed on that particular day का itinerary. Setting expectations. कभी कभी कोई डेस्टिनेशन ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें हम लोग भले ही घूमने के हिसाब से जाते हैं क्लाइंट, बट देर आर सम चैलेंजेस देयर, सो वो हमें पहले ही उन्हें ब्रीफिंग में एक्सपेक्टेशन सेट करनी है. बी इंफॉर्मेटिव. क्राइसिस मैनेजमेंट के बारे में हम लोग बाद में बात करेंगे. ड्रेसअप, यूनिफॉर्म, स्माइल, हाइजीन विल बी क्लीनलीनेस एंड क्लोथिंग. रिलेशनशिप विद द वेंडर्स, ड्राइवर्स, गाइड्स, सबके साथ, बिकॉज सी इन माइस इट हैपेंस, गाला डिनर 2 घंटे का होता है सपोज, बट थोड़ा एंजॉय करते करते आधा घंटा एक्स्ट्रा हो गया. सो इफ यू आर एट अ गुड रिलेशन विद द ड्राइवर, यू डोंट नीड टू कॉल द वेंडर फॉर दैट. वो खुद बोलेगा ठीक है, आई विल मैनेज हाफ एन आवर फॉर यू, बट इट इज ओके. So that way these things always help. And the most important responsibility of a tour manager is reconfirmation. If you are on a leisure group, reconfirmation of each and every services is a must 24 hours prior. Even though आपके पास होटल का वाउचर है, अट्रैक्शंस का वाउचर है, मील्स का वाउचर है, still you, when you are on ground, you will call each and every hotel, attraction, transport, whatsoever the services are, to reconfirm कि मेरे कंपनी ने ये बोला है, आपके पास है ना. बिकॉज बुकिंग सब होता है, बट कभी कभी बिकॉज ऑफ टेक्निकल एरर प्रोसेस नहीं होता है या हैंड ओवर नहीं होता है. सो देयर इज, टू अवॉइड लास्ट मिनट प्रॉब्लम्स, दिस थिंग्स आर देयर. देन अराइवल, मीट एंड ग्रीट, ब्रीफिंग, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट व्हाइल बिगिनिंग द टूर. जब हम लोग फॉरेन लैंड में पहुंचते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स अभी यूरोप जाना है, वी विल टेक अ ट्रांजिट और डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट, 9-10 घंटे का फ्लाइंग है. जाने के बाद क्लाइंट्स आर ऑलरेडी थोड़ा बहुत जेटलैग, बट उन्हें एक्सपेक्टेशन सेट करना होता है, उन्हें पूरा ब्रीफ करना होता है कि टाइमिंग्स कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है, कोच ड्राइविंग आवर्स कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है इन यूरोप स्पेशली. सो ये सब चीजें होती है. देन बजट का मैंने पहले बताया, टेलीफोन, मिसलेनियस, टूर अलाउंसेस, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. एंड टिपिंग. नॉर्मली यूरोप में देयर इज अ नीड टू टिप €2 पर डे पर पर्सन फॉर द कोच कैप्टन. सो ये सब चीजें जैसे हमें कंपनी बोलती है वैसा हम लोग कर सकते हैं. दिस थिंग्स टू बी नोन. Now about the airport facilitation. So we are just nearing the end of the presentation. Check-in is important. Assistance with immigration and security, if possible, is important. Brief about the services at the airport and transit assistance. If we are taking, for example, a flight via Dubai, Abu Dhabi or Turkey, तो वो हमें brief करना होता है. वीजा स्टैंपिंग, इमिग्रेशन एंड डोमेस्टिक एंड ट्रांजिट, बैगेज क्लेम, लॉस्ट एंड फाउंड, किसी का लगेज नहीं आया, किसी का लगेज टूट के आया है, तो ये सारी चीजें हमें संभालनी है. सो एयरपोर्ट इज ऑल्सो वेरी मच पार्ट ऑफ द टूर. टूर इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द coach or the actual sightseeing. Airport is very important because that is where you meet your client for the first time. Now on coach travel, counting, coach captain, briefing, engagement activities, cleanliness. Now chocolate munchies मैंने लिखा है यहाँ पे, but this हल्दीराम and all, यूरोप में, यूएस में, not every coach will allow you to have it on board, but these are some things which we do with permission, अगर permission है तो. So you can see that coach behind me, like we have this coach captain is very important for all the tours. Again, when it comes to hotel and accommodation, check in करवाना, डिटेल्स अबाउट द असेंबलिंग वेन्यू की शाम को 4 बजे हम लोग जाने वाले हैं साइन रिवर क्रूज पे, बट उसके लिए मीटिंग पॉइंट कहाँ पे है, वो होटल्स बड़ी बड़ी होती है कहीं पे, तो वो बताना होता है. रूमिंग रिक्वेस्ट, वेकअप कॉल, एवरी डे रात को हम लोग वेकअप कॉल दे के नेक्स्ट डे का वेकअप कॉल देना भी जरूरी है. अम्यूनिटीज डिटेल, होटल में क्या है क्या नहीं है, या फिर जो है वो चार्जेबल है या फ्री है. और होटल का विजिटिंग कार्ड हर होटल के रिसेप्शन पे होता है. जस्ट टेक दैट विजिटिंग कार्ड एंड गिव इट पर फैमिली वाइज इफ नीडेड. नियरेस्ट मेट्रो कौन सा है अगर आपको खुद से घूमना है शाम के बाद, तो ऑल दिस बेसिक थिंग्स. नाउ अबाउट द रेस्टोरेंट एंड वेन्यूज, नाउ दिस इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमें चेक करना होता है व्हाट इज द बफेट स्प्रेड जो उधर लगा हुआ है, बिकॉज इफ नाउ इन अ नॉर्मल स्टैंडर्ड बुफे देयर आर 2 वेजिटेबल्स, 1 नॉन वेजिटेरियन आइटम, दाल चावल सब्जी रोटी, 2 सब्जी और 1 नॉनवेज सब्जी, ये बेसिक होता है, और एक डेजर्ट. अब अगर अपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में 2+2 है या 3+3 है तो वो हमें चेक करना है. वेज नॉन वेज सेपरेट रखना है. रेस्टोरेंट पहुंचने के 1 घंटा पहले रेस्टोरेंट वाले को फोन करो कि मैं आ रहा हूँ, पता चला उसके पास ऑलरेडी 2 खा रहे हैं. वॉशरूम टॉयलेट कहाँ पे है रेस्टोरेंट में वो हमें पता होना चाहिए, सो दैट गाइड आवर गेस्ट की हियर यू गो. एंड ईट आफ्टर फर्स्ट सर्विंग, बिकॉज 50 ग्रुप है तो 50 लोग जब सर्व पूरा एक बार खाना खा लेते हैं, I mean खाना ले लेते हैं, then we take our plate and then we have quickly. So that is,
Of all the water.
yes sir.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, talking about the attractions and activities, when we are doing a leisure tour, detailed info about the place must. आईफिल टावर में पैकेज में दिया है वी विल गो टू लेवल 2, बट वहां पे जाके अगर क्लाइंट ने पूछ लिया कि यहाँ से कुछ लोग सीढ़ियों से भी चल के जा रहे हैं, कितनी सीढ़ियाँ, वी शुड देयर आर 1665 सीढ़ीज, भले हमें जाना नहीं है, सो वी शुड हैव दैट डिटेल्ड इन्फो ऑफ द प्लेस, डूज एंड डोंट्स, वहां पे स्मोकिंग करना अलाउड है या नहीं है, ये किधर है वो किधर है, वो सब कुछ, टाइमिंग्स, अगर ये क्रूज इतने बजे निकलेगा तो निकल ही जाएगा, और वहां पे जाने के बाद इफ सपोज जस्ट एन एग्जांपल, इफ वी आर गोइंग टू माउंट टिटलिस और आइस फ्लायर पैकेज में नहीं है, तो वहां पे मस्ट डू और सी क्या है, पता नहीं कि सर ऊपर जाके आप आइस फ्लायर भी कर सकते हो, दैट इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द पैकेज, वी विल टेक यू अप, वी विल टेक फॉर लंच एंड एवरीथिंग, बट दैट इज एक्स्ट्रा. एंड अगेन द काउंट, अट्रैक्शंस में उतने टाइम पे फोटोज के पीछे वी नो हाउ वी ऑल आवर गेस्ट बिहेव फॉर फोटोग्राफ, सो वो हमें संभालना है, always stick to the count, etc. All this we do just to get the perfect feedback from the client, whether you do a mice group or you do a leisure group. Without a feedback form, every group is incomplete. And when we do all this mehnat, of course the feedback will be the one which I have ticked up. So there are different feedback forms जो हर travel company देती है. Accordingly, we just need to hand it over to them one night prior, so that they can fill it आराम से in the room and then they give it back. Post tour, the mission is accomplished. Now we are back in India, so we should give a detailed report, which is like अगर कुछ नया हुआ है, कुछ आपको अपडेट करना जैसा लगता है ऑफिस में तो, or else the very important is the accounts which you should submit as soon as you're back in India. So this is what a tour manager does on ground. Be happy, this is okay, and these are so many thank yous and gracias. So this is the idea of what a tour manager does. Okay, so thank you
Just
for,
I can elaborate a bit. Yeah.
yes, yes. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to that PPT. Now we have our tour director, a very senior tour director, Mr. Christopher Lobo, and I would request Chris sir to please elaborate on certain things. And once he is done with the presentation, before taking the Q&A, there is some important thing which I would like to share it with you all. So that we will do. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Can you open to the first slide? First slide and the second slide, please.
Just a minute, sir.
That friend and
Yes.
okay. Hi everybody. I mean, if you all can hear me, I hope I am audible. One sec. You've gone ahead, Sanket.
No, just a minute, sir. I clicked
Who's
it.
this good-looking guy?
That's me, sir. Okay, sir. So,
You used to be good-looking. Huh?
yes, sir. Yeah. So here we are.
Okay, guys. Yes, I mean, Sanket has gone through the entire gamut of things that a tour manager needs to do. But just to elaborate, I mean, most importantly, as he's gone through with being the friend, philosopher, and guide, I mean, try and understand whichever company that you're representing, whether small, big, whatever. I mean, they have given you the entitlement to handle a coach load of people. If it's a mice operation, it's different. But they are entrusting you with, let's say, on an average, if you're going to Europe, you're spending about 2.5 lakhs into 50. So you have a crore worth with you that you are supposed to look after, that you are supposed to take care of. Okay, so it's very important that they trust you from the very beginning. They find you friendly enough. I mean, they know, when somebody meets up with you from the very offset, you get to know that, I can make it through with this guy for the next 15 days, 14 days. You have to be friendly, you have to be courteous, you have to be understanding. And obviously you would have done your homework about the destination. So if there are questions, because everybody try and understand, somebody is putting in 2.5 lakh rupees of their hard-earned money, and they're going to go to Europe probably for the first time, and probably not going to do it again in a lifetime. So they are anxious. You need to understand from their perspective that they're anxious. Do not get upset. Do not lose your patience. Do not lose your temper, because I have seen it has happened in the beginning at the start. of my career also where you thought that you were getting the same question 40 times. So you would get irritated. मैंने अभी बोला था. I just answer the question and things like that. That's very important to keep your patience. Just to go through what Sanket had said. The company that you're talking about, being the brand ambassador of the organization, just to reiterate, no matter what the salesperson does, because the salesperson try to understand to get the business offers them the sun, the moon, the stars. You are the one on ground who has to deliver on behalf of the salesperson, on behalf of whatever the contracting and operations have done in the back office. That is where you come in. So you're the showman on ground to ensure that whatever it is through the organization, whether it's through sales, operations, or contracting, you're the person to deliver. So in totality, you are the game changer and you are the vice president of the organization. So how you carry yourself, how you dress, how you speak is very important because that is the person that is going to reflect the company. You know, they whatever whoever it is from sales and things, they have not seen it. They will only see you. So you're the person who's the vice president of the company representing the company. And you are that is how you are the person who are the whole and soul of the tour, as in you can make or break a tour in reality. So if you want to be adamant, if you want to be flexible and things like that, you don't want to have to listen and empathize with anybody, then you can literally, you want to go by the book. Because, for instance, if you're doing a leisure tour, you're generally your book goes by 6, 7, 8, and you tend to, not want to be flexible. You also tend to get hyper. Initially, in my career, also I used to get hyper, but then you used to realize when it comes with the experience that if you try and understand certain cities, if you probably go a little later, you might not get traffic. You might not think, and your day might go smoother. In terms of, for instance, in Europe, or probably in a lot of parts of the world, your driver starts and works only for 12 hours. And just to reiterate about that point, as a tour manager, which I have seen and I would hope to see in the thing is every tour manager needs to respect any and everyone on the tour, right? From your driver is not like how we look at a driver. It could be a porter at the airport, it could be a porter at the hotel, it could be the front desk, it could be housekeeping, it could be people at the restaurant, it could be anybody. Your 4 words of thank you, please, sorry, all these are so important and take you a long way. Creating and building a relationship with all these people, because try and understand, you're not going to go there. Probably you would have gone there for the first time, but you're going to, if you do a good job, you're going to continue going there, which means you're going to bump into the same people and over and over again. If you have a good relationship with them, people will want to step and put the right foot forward and want to do things for you. But if you stay adamant, not flexible, you tend to lose your cool, you are not patient, you don't understand, and you don't empathize with them, because not every time can you get things happening your way. Sometimes they could be going through a bad day and you need to empathize with them. So it's very important that you respect and build a relationship with all the people that you encounter, especially your clients and all that comes with it. Okay, let's go to the next slide, Sanket. I don't know whether you all can see.
Yes, sir.
Sanket?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just putting all the things together. Yeah.
Yeah, just to reiterate, I mean, the very first point, if you don't have the passion for this job, okay, just to give you a gist of this job, you got to put things in perspective. I mean, think about it. I mean, I remember 20, 25 years ago, this was not a job that was looked up at. It was a job that used to be looked down upon. All right. So now it is a job that people realizing and wanting to make a career of the job that we do now. Okay. But having said what I've said so far, it's not as easy as it looks, and it's not as difficult as one would say as well. Okay. But if you don't have the passion for the job, you don't have the passion to meet people, you don't have the passion to treat people properly, you don't have the passion to travel and things like that, then this is not the job for you. You need to find another career. This is definitely not the place for you. In terms of confidence, yes, I mean, if you have done your homework to begin with, I mean, just to reiterate on where Sanket was earlier, okay? If you have done your homework about the destination that you're going to, and you show this confidence to the client, that the end client that you're meeting, okay? Believe you me, you will start getting lesser questions at you, because then they know, they can see that confidence in you, they will listen to you to begin with, and they know that you know what you're talking about. So you will automatically get a lot less questions, okay? Which will make your life simpler. Which will make your life simpler. So it's very important that you have done your homework and things like that. Punctuality, yes. I mean, coming from the country that you come from, Indians are not the most punctual people. Indians are not the most patient people. So it's very important that you need to be punctual yourself first before you ask people to be punctual and be on time. Which means, like, even if you start off in the morning, if your breakfast starts at 7, I know it's difficult for the people, but you need to have your breakfast before your people are supposed to come and have your breakfast. That's the way it should be. Okay. Courteous, caring, and concerned is what I've spoken about. Presentable, integrity. I mean, guys, integrity, honesty, these are two things that have to come from within. This cannot be taught to you. You know, these are the two things that have to come from within. So if you don't have it in you, then probably you're, as I said, integrity, passion. If you're not, you don't have it in you, you're in the wrong place. Okay, yes. Memory, storytelling, communication is so very important. I mean, clarity. I mean, it's okay to make an announcement, because now I've seen a lot, okay, of people just making an announcement for the sake of making an announcement. You need to understand that people, not everyone is listening to you at all times. So when you communicate, you need to know that all 50 people have got your communication. So that clarity is most important. It may sound repetitive at times, but if it means that you have to get your message across, which means you have to repeat yourself 3 or 4 times, so be it. As long as your communication is clear and everybody know exactly what you're supposed to get, what they're supposed to do, where they're supposed to go, when they're supposed to come, and things like that. Alert and attentive, yes, you have a group. You need to be alert as in you're taking them for sightseeing, like what he spoke about. You need to have your eyes and ears up to the ground. You need to have your wits about you. You need to know, it's not like if you're supposed to leave at 6 o'clock, at till 7 o'clock, you're still searching for 20, for two people or five people or 10 people. If you're at that particular sightseeing spot, you need to have your wits about you, where you know where your people around. So you getting to know your people in the first 2 days. I know it sounds difficult, but yes, you do get a, you, by the third day you should probably be knowing them by name, you know, and they need to know you. So when you are clear, when you are confident, when you are friendly, automatically people start listening to you. Okay. Flexibility is what I spoke about. Empathy is what I spoke about. Humor. Guys, there will be various situations. There can be any and every situation. I mean, I don't mean to sound rude, but you need to be able to lighten the moment and lighten the spirits of everybody. Not all 50 people are alike. Not everyone is thing, but you need to have. I'm not saying not everybody, not any two tour managers are the same, but you need to have a sense of humor. You need to know that you have to lighten the moment. Not everything can be serious. Try and understand, they paid 2.5 lakhs, yes, to see 8 countries or 10 countries or whatever it is, or maybe one country. But try and understand, at the end of the day, they are on a holiday. They've not come there to a boarding school where you are so rigid and you get up and you go and you have to eat. You eat at this time, you think at that time, and things like that. So your attitude, yes, hardworking and patience is most important, which I told you. The the part of the world that we come from, patience is not one of our attributes. So you need to learn to gain and get patient and be patient. And that patience need to be seen by everyone. You know, when you tend to show that you're losing your patience, people realize this, people notice this. And then when they notice this, they try to do it more. When the best thing to do is when somebody is trying to irritate you, not show that you get irritated, they will stop irritating you. Okay, let's move to the next slide if there's any slide. We've done all this. I mean, guys, I mean, as a client, no matter how you're meeting that client for the first time, he's spending 14 days with you, but try and understand he's not your friend. He's a client at the end of the day. So taking liberties with the client, I mean, unless it's there's a very fine line. So you need to know that you cannot take liberties with the client. Okay, in terms of being, having a drink or smoking or whatever thing like that with the client. If you're doing it in your own time at your own space away from the client, is fine as far as I'm concerned. Some companies don't allow this, but as far as I'm concerned, let's go to the next slide. Ah, I more or less spoken about this. To oversee the arrangements are delivered as promised. As I told you, salespeople, there are salespeople on this call, so they know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, the interaction between the TM and the guests I've spoken about. Coordinating all travel logistics such as the hotel. See, these are the basics, guys. Whether you're going to Dubai, whether you're going to Sri Lanka, whether you're going to America, whether you're going to the deep blue sea or to the moon. I mean, your basics that you have, which Sanket has very elaborately given each and every one of you. I mean, it's all in all the slides as to everything that you need to carry, everything that you have to go through, everything that you have to, you know, sorry, what is the word I'm looking for? But everything that you need to do, basically, in terms of reconfirm and things like that, everything has been given to you. I mean, it would be told to you by the company also, but there are basics. Like when he's talking about reconfirming, when you're talking about reconfirming restaurants, yes, you do this in certain places, you do it 48 hours before, certain places, you do it 24 hours before. To me, even if you before getting to the restaurant, I am reaching the restaurant, I would call them and tell them 20 minutes in advance that I'm getting there, for the simple reason is because Indians like their food hot. So you don't want it lying into the buffet for a long time and then having to come for cold food, cold breads and things like that. That's very important that you get in touch with everyone, make sure that all your services are confirmed and reconfirmed, and doesn't matter if you make that extra call, but as long as it is done, so you're confident. Also, when you get to restaurants, when you get to venues, especially for meals, we are also try and understand not the most orderly people and not the most disciplined type of people. So it's very important that you brief them on the coach. I used to do this. I mean, when you're talking about a buffet setup, there is a buffet setup where you have chefing dishes and you have just one spoon or maybe two spoons if it's an island setup of thing. So you always instruct all your clients when you get off the coach, you come into the restaurant, you take your seat first. You take your seat, have a sip of water, go visit the washroom and whatever. And then as a tour manager, you direct them table by table. So you need to tell them that I will direct you table by table to get to a buffet. So you serve yourself. Now what would happen is you don't have 50 people standing at a buffet line like a ration. One. Secondly, people, if there's anything, any chefing dish that needs to be replenished, it's easier for the kitchen as well. So you have them go through in orderly fashion, and believe you me, when you do it this way, it does happen a lot faster than you have 50 people just rushing to the buffet at one go. So when you have this, you have it in a much orderly fashion. And what happens is then restaurants also start seeing the way you behave. They start treating you differently. They start giving you things differently. I mean, when you're talking about when he said that you had two veg, which is the normal thing, two veg and one non-veg or two non-veg and whatever. If at all there is somebody who has requested you for something that is not there, and you have to request that restaurant, he will blindly do it for you when he knows that you are taking care and you have respected his restaurant, you're taking care of his staff, you're being courteous to staff, you're making them understand, you're making life simpler for them. That is when they will want to do anything for you. Okay, let's go to the next Sanket.
These are some pre-tour things.
Okay, these are the basics that you need to do for any tour and everywhere. and finally connect with the client is what I told you about. So yeah, I'm more or less about done. If there's anything that I've forgotten, probably, and if you'll have any questions, you can shoot
Yeah,
and we can go from there.
thank you.
These are your basics. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much everyone for joining in today. So we will start taking the question. I have already got one in my private chat which I will ask, but before that, I just have 1 minute ka polling today. Just one question, guys. I request everyone. We have got 82 members joined in today, and right now we have got 61 people. I would request everyone to please post your answers for this. Only one question, and I'm going to keep it live for 60 seconds, and I will surely share the results. Accordingly, we will get to know what we should come up with in our next talk. So the options are to version 2.0, post COVID-19 changes, or the operating techniques.
But Chris, Sanket, is the polling over?
Just 1 second, bye. Thank you. Okay, here we end. Thank you.
So first, I would like to add to this, being in this industry for almost more than 22 years. Sanket, I've been a part of your session, but I must say that this has been the most valuable session that I've attended in this entire season, because you have brought us to the ground. Okay. I have done a lot of tour manager kind of a role in my work, even as a corporate, where I've gone with senior leadership groups and I've taken care of them. But this has been one of a very, very on ground, the most important operational role that you have taken today as a subject. And your host speaker, Chris, very dear friend. And I must tell you, Chris, everybody in my office in Baku is watching this. Mengul, Orkhan, Turaj, everybody from the Baku team who you have interacted with is on this seminar today. I think I have more than 10 to 12 people who have had the privilege to work with you in Baku are on this group right now. But
Say hi
Sanket,
to
this
them
was
and give them
very
a big
well
kiss for
organized,
me.
very knowledgeable. And Chris, very well, updated to everybody. And I must say that, this subject is very good and essential for all of us. Whether we are in operations, this is what I tell my team all the time, whether we are in operations, sales, client servicing, or any aspect of tourism. But if you know this aspect of handling your client, you are successful everywhere. But Chris,
Perfect.
thank you so much. Good to see you. Good to see
Thanks.
you too,
Good to
Sanket.
see you.
And
I'm sorry, I'm so bloody good looking. It's not funny.
I cannot disagree to that.
And
But see you
how
guys, see
you
you
doing?
around.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Vikram.
we are coming up with the first question. The first question is, if someone gets drunk in the coach or on tour and acts really stubborn and isn't ready to listen to you or anyone, or isn't ready to settle down, how do we handle this?
The leisure tour, then probably you would send him by taxi or whatever, because probably you're going to foresee him bring up or something in the coach or things like that. But if you're on a mice group, then you have a coordinator and things like that, which is taken care of. And then put him in a separate car, put him with somebody, and then take him by cab, and then, try and handle it over. You got to learn to be flexible, because at the end of the day, these are on a holiday. They're there to enjoy themselves. They are supposed to enjoy themselves. If they don't enjoy themselves, then I think my job has not been complete. So if you've gone there with 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, and if 1,000 people have not enjoyed themselves, then something has gone wrong somewhere for myself as being the ambassador on ground. So that's what's important.
Yeah.
So that's where we were talking about being flexible, being able to empathize with people and see a situation. Then that's going to happen when you have liquor, and especially when it's flowing free. Then you're from India, and so give me a break.
So one question is coming up from a student at Travel Professionals course. Who is an MOS? I think she has.
Who asked that question earlier? Who asked that question? I want to
It was from Miss Aishwarya Pereira. Now she.
know. Okay, miss.
Yeah. One question is coming from Miss Sanchita. Sanchita ji is asking that who is an MOS? She has heard the word MOS. Is he different than a tour manager?
Yeah, a man on the spot. A man on the spot is an MOS. Basically, you have companies where you have a lot of people that are transiting through a city. So you generally, like if you have in Europe, you have like an MOS situated in Paris, or you have an MOS situated in Zurich. or you have like in the Far East, you'll have an MOS situated in Singapore, Thailand, or Malaysia, things like that. Basically, because of the influx of people, you have so many flights coming in, so you have handovers to give in terms of tickets, of excursions, and things like that. You have their check-ins to make sure that everything is done. So that's the job of an MOS. Then people also, since Sanket mentioned, as a tour manager, you carry around a lot of cash. There are certain places where you submit your accounts as well. So your burden is off your shoulders to a large extent.
Sure, sir.
But an MOS is a man on spot. Yeah.
Yeah. So one question coming in from Mr. Hardik Sial. He wants to know what studies,
Not Parek.
not Parekh, sir. What studies you would suggest to do for a tour manager after IATA? Okay.
What studies? I mean, you have courses now that you have which are run by certain companies where goes through the nitty-gritties of a tour manager's job and of destinations. So if you feel you have the inclination to do something like that, then you can register yourself for those kind of courses, which is done by Thomas Cook, SOPC, or other companies. I don't know.
Absolutely. One question coming in from
What was that smile for, something?
no, sir. I was just going through next question, sir, which was asked to me.
And which is by whom?
By Saviola Diaz. Miss Saviola is asking, what if there is a problem in the tour? Like, for example, take the COVID-19 situation. What would you do if you were in that tour during that time? No, that is something very wide open question, actually.
I don't know. I don't know the situation. So
No,
what would you do if you were in a COVID-19 situation? If you were at the destination, you were stuck. There was no travel to be there from then. So when you're stuck, you and I mean, whatever. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, you'll get in touch with the company, and then the company would interact and with the DMC and the hotel, and see what can be worked out with
yeah.
with the entire group. Yeah.
But Saviola, just to add on to this, see, COVID-19 situation is something which we are facing right now and we are going through it. But ground ऐसा होना या ऐसा पता चलना is something on a very higher side for all this. Whichever country, whichever destination you are, the authorities there, whatever they take the decision, that way it will be managed. And going on to the next question.
Sanket and Chris, can I add something to Savio's question, if you may
Yeah,
allow?
yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, of course.
Savio and guys, I've been in situations like this where there have been volcanic eruptions in Japan, and also, there has been a coup in Thailand. So I think the best thing that you have to do in a situation like this is you have to go to the embassy, your regional embassy, and coordinate with somebody who is coordinating with the embassy. And if we guys are on a tour or you guys are on a tour, you have a back office here in India, and that office has to be in touch with the embassy locally or with the ministry to make sure that you guys are escorted out of the country. But as a tour manager, I would feel that your most important job would be to make sure that the group which is on ground with you, they are provided for the facilities that are core essential, which is food, decent accommodation, and everything. So that kind of a backup should be there. And of course, the person who is there with you from the organizing company, the manager on duty or whatever, he is going to take he's going to cover up all your costs, or the insurance is going to cover up all your costs. So the coordination between the embassy and the organizing your partner company, whether it's FCM, Thomas Cook, or whosoever tour you're on, them and the embassy is most important.
Yep. Thank you very much, Vikrant.
Thanks, Vikrant. Yeah.
So as Vikrant, I would like to introduce Vikrant also. Vikrant Grover, Mr. Vikrant Grover is the man who brought Azerbaijan closer to Indian market, and he represents Pasha Travel. He's the head of business development for South Asia region. He has been one of our guests for the Destination Talk Chapter 4 Azerbaijan. We are planning more with him. So thank you very much, Vikrant Bhai, for your inputs. The next question, Chris sir, if a tour manager does not feel well enough, if he is not well on tour, what he should do, sometimes understanding that the condition is really very worst?
See, unless I mean, you do tend to fall sick. I mean, you do tend to get a fever. You do tend to have stomach upsets and things like that. Unless it is a situation where you are, a grave situation where you have to be hospitalized or you have to be in bed and you can't move, then what happens? The first things first is you get in touch with your company, your back office,
Yeah.
and then they look at sending a replacement, someone who can take over from you. So either it is done by the MOS, depending on where the disease destination is. Either the MOS takes over or they send another free tour manager who's in the vicinity and things like that and takes over from you. It has happened in situations. There have been situations where people like, you could lose a family member while I'm on tour. So you have to leave and you have to go back. So there would be somebody who would come and take over. Till that time that somebody takes over, you would be running the show. So you need to, continue till such time that someone comes and takes over.
Yeah.
And there you
So now one question coming in from Sanchita ji again. Sir, can you put some light on how to handle when some natural calamities happen or any health difficulties of a client? Sanchita, I will skip this because I think Vikrant ji has answered this, taking an example of the natural calamity in Japan. So that's what it happens throughout the world, taking help from the embassies. Moving on to the next question from Mr. Devak Lalka. Hi Devakji. Hi everyone. I must say a very well conducted session. Thank you, sir. My question is to understand how would the travel or a leisure business continue post COVID-19? Okay, so this question is something like not related to tour management.
go. I am being the thorough optimist that I am. I'm hoping for things to open as soon as possible and go wild and try and make up for the time that we missed out on. But at the end of the day, my name's Christopher and not Nostradamus. So I really don't know. So,
Okay, thank you. Uh, Sarvesh, okay, Miss Aishwarya again coming with what one question: how do one handles the constant negative comments about you from a client on tour?
so it's a good question, but the negative complaints could only be coming on from your client at the end of the day is on the basis of your behavior, on the basis of how you have behaved. If you have not carried yourself the way that we spoke about in all these situations, then yes, 50 different people, 50 different opinions and things like that. But you need to find that line where you can, differentiate and make sure that you try and please everybody. I mean, to a large extent, there are certain, when I'm saying please everybody is in the right sense of the word, okay, and to do that to the best of your ability. I mean,
Yeah,
there's only that much that you can do. You can't do further than that. So, in spite of that, you have people who are born cribbers. So if that is the case, so then let them crib. I mean, so be it. But don't let it affect you to the extent like if you have four people who are complaining about you, you don't let it put you down to the extent that the other 46 people notice that. You still have to take care of those 46 people who think otherwise. And when you have 46 people who are thinking positive about you, so be it. You cannot please everybody. All five fingers are not the same.
absolutely, sir. So one question from Mr. Sarvesh Banotkar. He's asking, sir, can you put some light on the situation when there is a passenger's death on tour? As a tour manager, how to handle rest of the tour?
Uh, unfortunately, what's the name? What's the guy's name?
Mr. Sarvesh Banodkar.
Okay, so Sarvesh, unfortunately, the tour must go on. I mean, the show must go on. So yes, you would inform your office, you would inform your the closest police station, you would inform the closest hospital to make sure you've got a death certificate, and you have to, as Vikrant said, it would have to be done and coordinated with the embassy because they would have to bring the body back. But this is as far as you can do, and try and understand the balance. People have to still continue on the tour. One person dies doesn't mean to say it comes to an end. Those other people are also paid and they have to continue. It may sound ruthless, but
Yeah,
that's the way it is. There is no other way out. So you have to get in touch with your office, the embassy, and things like that. Like this could answer your question in terms of a loss of passport. So you're saying police complaint, your FIR, all these things, and then going to the embassy and then making sure, and then you coordinate on the phone with your back office as
Absolutely.
to how things are moving.
Thank you very much, Chris, sir, for all the insights, all the questions that were put up in the chat. We have taken those. Uh,
Oh,
one
lovely.
one
It's all
experience.
over? Wow.
Sorry, sir.
It's all over? Wow.
So one experience I would like to share with all the friends. See, when I was in Italy 2 years back, one of my client he lost his passport during one of the sightseeing. So that time I went to the police station. Police में complaint file किया. Then we went to the embassy. Luckily we were in Rome, so the embassy is also in Rome. So we went to Indian embassy there. Morning 11 o'clock, 11:30 we applied. Evening 5:30 we got the EC, that is emergency certificate, a white passport, and things were done. So uh, होता है. Also, one question coming in from Subish. Hi Sanket, have been hearing about QCM nowadays. Can you and Christopher elaborate on this? Sir, QCM.
QCM, the full form is a quality control manager.
Yeah.
Okay, so your QCM is the level that is above your tour manager, senior tour manager. Basically, you take care of every nitty gritty that Sanket and I went through, as in between your tour manager and the back office. So your operation and your operation contracting vis-a-vis your tour manager. So that's where you take over and you put the bridge between the two of them and make sure that everything runs through on that tour. So
Yeah.
you're the QCM as a quality control manager.
Yeah, I would thank you, sir. Subish, I would like to add on that thing. Like, for example, in the MICE group, when we have 300 people ka movement, 7 or 8 tour managers will travel to manage the coach. But there will be one or say maximum two QCMs or the quality control manager who will be in advance for everything, like what we used to do when we used to work together. So QCM is someone who travels in advance and make sure everything is delivered. Especially MICE के अंदर ज़्यादा होता है QCM का role. So it is there. Now one question coming in, sir, for you from Mr. Anish Haria. Kindly share some on-tour experience, sir.
Kindly,
Share some on-tour experience, the best one and the worst one of your career.
I can remember. I mean, there's so many instances I can write a book. I mean, Anish, so I mean, you'll have to call me at some time at leisure because if I have to start, I don't know where to stop. There's too many experiences doing all of this. But there's been fun. I mean, as long as you learn to enjoy yourself and enjoy your work, once you, whichever job, I mean, whatever the job that you're doing, if you're enjoying yourself and you make sure you're enjoying yourself, people see it, people notice it. And then you start enjoying your job, then everything else becomes immaterial. I mean, your money is immaterial. Of course, I have a lot of tour managers I know who put everything on the back burner and put themselves first in terms of, I, me, myself. But that's what you have to, this is not the real place for it. I mean, you need to be keeping your organization best interest at heart. You need to be, I understand at the end of the day, you're also running and you're also looking at it as a job. Yes, but if try to not do everything for the money, you can't equate everything with money. If you start equating everything with money, then it becomes difficult in irrespective whichever job that you do. And likewise here, and try and understand, guys. As I said, this used to be a job that used to be looked down upon, and now looking, I'm amazed to see people wanting to make a career out of this job. If you put things in perspective, not with the situation that we are going through now, but otherwise, I mean, where in the world do you have where you're traveling the world? Okay, you're traveling and you're staying at the best of hotels, especially if you're doing MICE outfits. Okay, you're eating the best of foods and best of places. Okay, and at the end of the day, you're seeing the best of things of that place. And at the end of the day, you get paid for it. I mean, so who wouldn't want a job like this? You know what I mean? I see Sanket laughing because he's made too much money doing all this.
Okay, so one question coming in from Sanchita. What TM can do to survive economic adversity? Obviously, as mentioned in the slide, the TM should be very careful about that. But still, if this situation arises, what can be done? Sanchita, I'm so sorry. I didn't understood survive economic
You're,
adversity.
You're talking about the situation we are now in. So, Sanjita will
Chita.
go to the bank and get a loan, or go to Sanket and take a loan. One of the two. There's, I
Uh,
don't have.
request you to elaborate. You can unmute and talk if you want. You can unmute and talk, but elaborate your question. What TM can do to survive economic adversity?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah,
are.
you are.
Okay, so sir, my question here is like the tour manager has been given some budget, right? When he goes
Oh,
for the tour,
okay.
if in case like if someone has a health issue or something, then they have to go to the hospital, and if the expense is more than what the client is having with him, so at times I feel that the tour manager or the company helps, and if in that situation, if that money is not enough, so what can be done? Like, I'm just giving this as a situation, but in any case, if the money which he has or whatever budget he has given uh, is not enough to survive the whole tour, then what to do? If I'm clear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Understood. We understood. Chris, sir?
Sorry, I did hear the question. I went off.
No, no, no. I will tell you. So Sanchita's question is: as all tour managers travel with certain budget in their hand, if
Yeah.
there's some unforeseen reason wherein a TM needs to spend, so what can he do? So see, normally, sir, I would like to answer this. Sanchita, in such
I
scenario,
can answer it. I mean, if I can be
yeah,
heard. Can you hear me, Sanchita?
yes, yes,
Sir,
In
yes,
an,
sir, yes, sir.
in an adversity, I mean, in an unforeseen circumstance, you would first things first, you would inform your office. I mean, and your office would be the first person, and your operational staff or that file handler would be in the position to tell you exactly, because that file handler would tell you, okay, so and so is the situation, go ahead, and this is what it would cost, and that is what, go ahead and spend it. I mean, if there is something that happens, it's an unforeseen situation, because by and large, a file handler, when you're talking about leisure tours, the file handler has taken everything into consideration. I mean, in terms of his budget, when he gives out his lumps to you, okay, in terms of your phone, your tips, your everything, payouts if they have to be done at any sightseeing, or payouts if it has to be done at any restaurant. So everything is taken into consideration before they hand over that file to you and the lumps to you. That's why it was very important for the pre-tour. When you go back to the operation, when you before the tour, you sit with the operations. I mean, we tend to be in a hurry. Like, as I used to make a joke out of it. I mean, when a tour manager used to come and take their file, they used to hardly go through it, just see the LUMS envelope, count the money, and then they used to leave. So, you know, so, so that's
हाँ
what,
हाँ हाँ
if you go through your file, you will know exactly. So you wouldn't have this situation. Now, over and above that, that has been considered on the file, if there was something that turned out, you inform the office, and the file handler will guide you and tell you whether you can spend or not.
yes. And to add on to this, Sanchita,
आड़े पत्ती है
you nowadays, if suppose I am a tour manager, it is not just the amount which
प्लास्टिक की बॉयल थे तो
I would request you to please mute. Just a minute. Oh yeah. So uh, the amount which I'm carrying in cash, that is not the only amount which I will be having. Nowadays, we all use forex card and all things. So as and when some unforeseen things happen, the back office in Mumbai or in India, they upload your card and you have again the cash. So there is no shortage of cash or money as such on tour. So dear friends, now sharing the poll results. So this is
Sanket, sorry once again, Vikrant. One very important thing that you forgot to tell her is that all our groups are covered on an insurance. So
yeah.
if you are in a medical emergency kind of a situation, even for your passport lost till your baggage lost, everything is insurance covered. So if you are, I'm sorry to use this word, but all of us are, but still, if you're bright enough, then you will suddenly tell your back office to engage the insurance company into the process. And trust me, I've been in this situation in Singapore where the medical bill was huge and it was all covered by the insurance company. I walked out of the situation without paying even a penny.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vikrant. Thanks.
Thank you. So I think that is one more insight on that. And now sharing the results of the poll. So tourism version 2.0 is something that what 73% people wants to hear the next talk. And of course, entrepreneurship in tourism and product innovation and client servicing 35%. Cool. We will surely work out on this and come up with one more episode of Tourism Talk with more guests, more panels, and everything. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. Now it's time to say thank to Christopher sir. Christopher sir, thank you really very much for being today. This evening was a wonderful session because of you, your insights, your experience, and your time which you invested here. Thank you really very much.
Thank you, Sanket. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you,
And God bless
Christopher.
you all. And God bless the United States of America.
I think we're heading there soon. Huh? So God bless us also. Huh?
Yeah.
No,
God bless all of you.
God bless United States.
Vikrant, hopefully we meet again soon. Yeah.
Done, bro. Soon, soon, soon.
Dear friends, I will everyone to please pass on the message and the link for the upcoming sessions to your friends, because this is something, or I can say something from our side, that what we can do in this lockdown session and learn something, know something. I will learn, you will learn, we will learn. So it's just one thing which we are doing. So request everyone to please pass on the message and stay connected. You will receive an email for the feedback of this session. Please do feel your valuable feedback. It is very much needed. And all the best to all the freshers out there. Don't lose your morale. Don't put it down, guys. I know things are different. I know people जिनको appointment letter मिलके भी joining नहीं हुआ है. Things are going to be very good very soon in near future. We all are into this together. So that's all. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much for this, for attending this session. Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Thanks for having me.
We have one question. When would you let us know about the next tourism talk? Mr. Shoaib ji, it will be emailed to you. I have got the IDs of all those who attended, so I will email you very soon. This will be next week. I want to come up with good panelists and really good speakers like we have. So I need to work on that, and then I will come back.